shameless merch plug. Forget to go to Shop Buddy Big and Tall to get your Enzo and Lotus merch. And despite all the craziness going on in life right now, whether it's the beanies, the stickers, or the keychains, I promise I will get them shipped out next business day, if not same business day. All right, so I posted to our YouTube community a few days ago about some Q&As. We're gonna go through some of those questions right now. Oh, you wanna show them your little Seahorsey? Yeah. You have questions about Seahorsey? Enzo will answer them now. All right, first question is from Hunter. What made you want to get a German Shepherd? Well, I thought to myself, life's too simple. Let's make it no. It's actually a pretty simple answer. Dogs are a lot of work. I didn't want one. Nisha did. She wanted a German Shepherd, so we got a German Shepherd. This next question is from Jennifer Murley. I am getting a German Shepherd puppy next March. Well, congratulations. My question is, what do I look for in the puppy I choose that could be early signs of aggression? So we do have a couple videos on choosing like breeders and different things, which I will link. That's not going to answer your question directly. Honestly, I've never been asked that question before. I mean, generally aggression is a taught behavior. Now, they could have reactivity issues, and some of them deal with that fear by using aggression. But again, that's usually more of a learned behavior. So I would say more what you need to look for is a quality breeder. Otto My Dog, are you going to bring Enzo's glow ball? No. We're going to bring all the glow balls. Tonya Teague, probably didn't say that right. I got my second German Shepherd last week. He's 2, and Kara just turned 1 today. Well, happy late birthday, Kara. They get along great other than very jealous of each other around family members in our home. What do you do? Does Enzo and Lotus have jealousy issues? I wouldn't say they have jealousy issues. There is the occasional sign of jealousy. Like if Lotus is getting a lot of attention and cuddles, suddenly Enzo's like, oh wait, I want some attention. So we'll see little things like that, but haven't had to deal with a whole lot of jealousy. You know, I don't know what your signs of jealousy are. Like I said, ours aren't really that big of a deal. It's just kind of like Enzo will come up like, hey, give me attention too. If you're seeing a behavior that you don't want, it should really just be treated like any behavior though. If they've gone through training, if not, we do partner with Robert Cabral. It's always linked below. You can sign up for his course. Highly, highly recommend that. But just any bad behavior, like for us, we would use the off command. Or you could do some sort of distraction, you know, give them a toy, you know, give that other pup attention too, you know, just something. Usually like when friends or family come over, it's the new exciting person. So it can give much. If there's 2 shepherds and only 1 new human and they both want all the attention at once, it can, you know, I kind of deal with that every time I come home, and it's just kind of like a balancing act. Hi, Rally. I know it's your dinner. KJ asked, are you bringing the boys' crates with you? Yes and no. Am I bringing the crates that you see downstairs? Probably not. I don't think those would fit. Maybe. I don't know. They might. I'll have to measure. To be honest, I'm going to do something. I'm just not sure yet, because there are going to be situations where I'm going to have to leave them for short periods, and I haven't quite figured out what that's going to look like. For example, I think, okay, well, I need to go into the grocery store. Now, if it happens to be a Kroger's nearby and I can do like a clickless pickup type thing, I might just do something like that. But there are going to be those times where I just need to run into the store and leave them. At that point, I'm just leaving them in the truck cab. Like, I'm not going to put them in the Airstream at that point. I could see things, for example, when we have to do laundry. Days that we do laundry, we'll more than likely hang out near the laundromat for several hours. And then I'll have timer set when I need to go in and switch things over. I think they would mostly be okay for that situation, but I do have slight concern. I wouldn't say like huge concerns. I don't know. I haven't quite worked it out, I guess, is my answer. I've looked at getting a stronger crate. I don't know. It's one of the many things I think about. Jeremy Wenzel. You mentioned in a previous video that Lotus is kind of the typical German Shepherd, meaning they can be pretty reactive breed. In the future, would you consider getting another German Shepherd or perhaps try another breed that is known to be less reactive? Wow, less reactive. That's the nicest way of saying would you consider getting a breed that's easier. They're a lot of work. My sister has 2 golden doodles. And it's not that they're not a lot of work too. All dogs are, but so much easier. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't really have to worry about it. Definitely not going to be getting a 3rd dog anytime soon. So, I don't know. I think if I was going to do another dog, it would be more of a rescue. So, I would just inherently have to be more open to other breeds at that point, or mixed breeds. KJ, didn't you ask the question already? Yes, you did. What happened to Jackson helping with editing? Just in case that is too personal, how long did it take for Lotus to adjust to other family and friends? So backup, I like it. Question and a backup question. It's not too personal. Jackson got a really good job editing like Hollywood Netflix movies and stuff, and it just became too much for him to help out. So I'm super happy for him. I think I see him in the comments still occasionally, so I know he still watches when he has time. So for the last several months, it's just been me editing. And then as far as the family and friends, it's not so much how long does it take Lotus, it's how long does it take the humans, to be honest. My sister and her husband came over, for example, and her husband is super dog friendly and loves dogs. Did you just steal llama from him? No, sir. We don't do the thieveries. I saw that. Maybe I should have let him steal it. You know, when he came over to the house one of the first times, Lotus was completely fine with him. He could just get that vibe and he was totally fine. There was no adjustment period. With other family members, I wouldn't say there's really an adjustment as long as they're normal and such. So long as he's not getting a bad vibe off them, which I can't really think of one that he does. Yeah, so I mean, there's really not a huge adjustment period in that situation. Now, when we hosted Thanksgiving, that was a lot for him. I think that might be in a vlog somewhere. I might have filmed some of that, or might have done like a little brief live stream back then. I don't remember. I think I may have done like a Facebook live stream back then. It would have been a couple years ago. It would have been pre-COVID, obviously. That was a bit much, but really at that point, he just kind of wanted to lay down next to me and just kind of get away from it all. Otto, my dog. My boy is 9 months. When do you think they reach full maturity? What are your experiences? From my understanding, they can keep growing up until they're technically 2. Although generally in that year and a half is kind of when you see that kind of slow down. If they're growing much after that, it's very little that you're probably not even noticing. CE, not sure. Hi, we have raised and loved 6 German Shepherds over the years. Ours averaged better maturity between 2.5 and 3 years. One of our girls still acted like a puppy at 14.5. So it depends on the dog. They are still joyful, loving, playful, and protective at any age. Best wishes. Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't really a question, but yeah, thank you for that. From Jaden, with the new COVID variant rising, do you think that would affect your traveling next year? It could. I know I'm getting my booster next week, so like personally, I'm not too worried. Also, I still, not always, but I still usually wear a mask when I go out in public. I would say the biggest thing it's going to affect is I would really like to go to Alaska, but you have to cross into Canada, and Canada's been more restrictive in general. So it could hinder in that regard. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could. Hopefully not, but it could. Rich Cat Ranch. Do the boys like swimming? Not really. They like water. They're perfectly fine getting in water, but they've never really been one to swim. I managed to trick Enzo one time. I threw his ball out into a small river, and he ran out far enough to where he had to swim. He didn't realize it. And then at that point, he was like, I'm not going past a certain point. But I mean, he did it. He could swim. We've never been to an actual like dog pool. That was something I wanted to do. Never got around to doing it. Maybe someday. But they do like water, and we get out their little baby pool and stuff. I know, Rally. You need to wait for dinner. Jack No Name. Have you ever been asked to leave someplace where you had Enzo in his do not pet harness? I don't think the do not pet harness really has any bearing on it, but as far as just being asked to leave, there was one instance where we were downtown in a building. Certain buildings are kind of known as like pass-through buildings, like you can take shortcuts to get to the other street. We cut through one of those one time. We had been walking around downtown for a bit, and I think I sat down at a table for just a few minutes, and I actually had like some concierge desk person or whatever working the desk say something. They weren't security or anything like that. And they were really rude about it too. It was weird. That's the only time I've ever had anybody say anything of any kind that I can think of. BB's dog training. Would you ever feed them fresh food instead of kibble? I'm not opposed to it. It's just I can't find scientific data that can really 100% say what humans should be eating, let alone dogs. So it's one of those things. I don't think it's necessarily better or worse. It's just different. You may have better results with it than, because all dogs are different, just like all humans are different. And some may respond better to it. And if you've got the means and the time and the abilities, I don't see anything wrong with it. A Merciless 214, shedding management. Any tips on how to maintain the shedding? Brushing regularly, getting them groomed and getting the blowouts helps. Vacuums, honestly. I vacuum at least once a day, at least. And then while they're gone now, I've gotten rid of them. I did have Roombas that ran upstairs and downstairs, but with all the moving and stuff, it was just too much of a hassle to try to pick everything up and move stuff so they could run. And the house is pretty small, so I just run through it real quick with the Dyson. But honestly, that's the best thing you can do, is just be vacuuming. Did you steal his antler? I saw that. So, CJ James, have you ever thought about training Enzo to be a search and rescue dog? No, nothing like that. There was a long time where we were really putting a lot of effort into getting him service trained so he could be a therapy dog. We'd gone through quite a bit of steps. He only had to do his test at that point. And I have no doubt that he would have passed it and could have been a certified therapy or emotional support dog, or basically to where he could go into schools and different places, be around children and such. Search and rescue, honestly, that would be a better thing for Lotus. X3 Ash, what do you think is the most important thing in raising a German Shepherd? Honestly, you know, good medical care, good diet, good exercise, all that stuff, but your time is really the best thing. They're not a breed that wants to be left alone. They are not the type of breed that is okay with you going to work every day for 9+ hours and then coming home and being busy. So it is just, your time and energy is the most important thing. The Rottweiler, what is the dumbest thing your dogs have ever done? I don't know that they've really ever done anything dumb. I mean, honestly, I'm the one that's responsible for them. So really, what is the dumbest thing I've ever let them do? Lotus got into the trash recently. That was pretty rare. I've never seen him do that before. I may have filmed a little bit of it, and if I did, I'll put it in. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? When you're sick, I'm not cleaning it up. Enzo stole some cookies. Seems to be revolving around stealing food and cookies. Enzo popped a balloon and scared himself to death. That was hilarious. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and that's the last question. Not as many questions this time. I forgot to put a photo with the posting, but that's okay. You know, I do these every so often. I, post either on YouTube or Instagram and have you guys leave your questions. It's a good time to point out, I've been meaning to say this in a couple videos. During Vlogmas, where I'm uploading virtually every single day, and especially with, as many of you know, I'm going through a lot of life changes right now. Up until this point, to the best of my ability, I had answered or responded or at very least liked every comment ever left on the YouTube page. And if I missed one, it was just fell through the cracks. It's not intentional. On YouTube, to be honest, doesn't have the best system for going through comments. Through this Vlogmas and everything, I really am struggling to keep up with them. I am reading them all for sure, but I have been having a hard time keeping up with commenting, responding back to all of them. So I felt it was especially important to do a Q&A like this. I might do another one. Maybe we'll do a live stream Q&A or something. I need to feed them. I need to feed Rally. She's freaking out.